and they check on you when you're high and you're having a good time. You know, like when you're high and you're like, oh, I wonder if my wife didn't finish her Reuben. I'm going to go up and kill the other half of it before she fucking wakes up. And you'll just think of something, and all of a sudden that'll ruin your high. It'll ruin your night. It's not that you're going to cry or be depressed, but it does ruin it. It's like whenever I think about my daughter. Whenever I think about my daughter when I'm high, whatever, I kind of feel a little sad. I've dealt with it. I have dealt with it. I am okay with it. If there was therapy to be involved, I fucking did it. I wrote, I journaled, and my daughter moved on. The pain from my daughter moved on. That's why I stopped doing coke. You show me coke now. You show me a gram of coke, I won't do it because I equivalent it with pain. I equivalent coke with, it's the equivalent of fucking pain. Every time I'd snort a line, it was painful to snort it because of the pain I was going through, you know. But life goes on. What I really want to talk to you fucking savages about today was something my wife told me yesterday morning, and I almost lost sleep over it last night. But I knew this day was coming. And one day I went to eat with my godfather. I went to eat with my uncle. Me, Mercy, my wife was busy. This is way before the pandemic. This had to be like November of 2019. In fact, it was. It was November around Thanksgiving. She had no school, and I met my uncle in Glendale to get some lunch at this fucking place, tremendous. They got carrot cake, and they bring it to you. You know how some places have like fucking bread, or they give you like, you know, whatever, something to dip in olive oil. This place gives you carrot cake. That's the best carrot cake. It's not really carrot cake. It's date nut bread. Oh, and they give you whipped cream cheese with it. I used to go there like 3 times a week, and I kept eating that fucking bread. And one day I got on the scale and I gained 15 pounds. I'm like, well, I guess I'm not eating that fucking bread anymore. Holy shit. But me and my uncle loves that place. I love it too, but I had to give it a fucking breather. I used to go there with Duncan, and they had the best steak and eggs for breakfast, but they wouldn't put it on the menu because it was so fucking good. You had it like, if you were somebody in the know, then you ordered the fucking steak. Duncan was in the know, so he turned me on. He's like, get the steak and eggs. You won't be fucked. So I used to go in there, eat a whole loaf of fucking date nut bread, a whole container of cream cheese, 3 eggs, a steak, 2 pieces of toast, butter, home fries. Fuck! No wonder you're 330, Joey. You gotta stop it, cocksucker. But anyway, me and my
That's so good though.
Oh my God, it is fucking good. Me and my uncle and my daughter went to eat one day. We're just fucking around on the way home. My uncle was like, hey man, I just want you to know something. Keep this in mind. I don't mean to insult you, whatever, but I don't know if you know this. He goes, your wife was a woman at 11. She already had tits at 11, so I'm just giving you a heads up for your daughter. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? My daughter, my mom was a woman at 11. I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, trust me, your mom and her sister Rosita were breaking hearts when they were 12 already. Keep your eye on this girl because she's going to mature fast. And I'm like, I don't think she's going to fucking mature fast. Well, 2 nights later, I went in to help her with something, and I smelled something. And I go, Mercy, what's that fucking smell? And I smelled her armpits, and I'm like, oh, God, they were fucking oniony as fuck. She smelled like one of those deadheads from Boulder. I mean, she was booting them from the 50-yard line. You know, I'm honest with you guys. I'll tell you the fucking truth. And I'm like, Mercy, you're fucking booting. She was fucking 7. I mean, I didn't hurt her feelings. She doesn't know what booting means, but we had to go the next day and buy fucking deodorant for her, like fucking, you know, women's deodorant. I was like, Mercy, I'm in fucking shock that you know. She just puts deodorant on and stuff like that. Well, I was looking at my daughter yesterday morning. We ate some breakfast. We were sitting by the door. I was drinking my coffee, and her and I were having a conversation. I'm like, man, my daughter's getting fucking big. Like, she's just getting thick. I mean, she goes to kickboxing, all this shit, but she's starting to get thick, you know? And I told my wife, I go, you know what? She's starting to get pretty big. Like, she's starting to get thick, bigger. And my wife goes, Joey, you know she's already starting to have hair and stuff like that. And I'm like, Mercy, Terry, she's fucking 8 years old. What are you saying to me? And she's like, she's gonna mature really fast. She's already like starting to, I'm like, holy fuck. When my wife left to go to yoga, I just sat there like in shock, like, what the fuck? My little girl is fucking growing. And I could tell, like, listen, man, women before mature faster than little boys. You could see it. I've seen it with Mercy since I've gotten here. Like the friends that she made when we got here that are still like making baby noises and jumping up and down. Mercy don't run with them no more. Mercy doesn't even watch cartoons no more. The last cartoon she's holding on to is Big City Greens, and that's because I did an episode of it, and she tells everybody she's so proud of me for that. But beside that, she is not watching kids' TV anymore. She watches adult TV. The other night I threw on Man on Fire, and she came down. She caught the tail half hour, and she was like, Dad, tell me the story of what's going on. I go, well, for starters, because one night she was down here, he was about to put the bomb in the guy's butt. And I go, Mercy, I think you want to watch this. And my wife is like, no, she does not want to watch this. She's not ready for this yet. So I said, okay, they left. You know, they have to come to the basement when I'm watching TV at night. They were going somewhere. And so the other night, I was just sitting there watching fucking TV, and Man on Fire was on the last half hour. You know, he'd done all the killing and shit. He already fucking shot the little marsupial-looking Mexican dude, that little fucking... You ever see the cover of Black Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath? You look at the front, it's a nice white family taking care of this guy who's dying. You turn it around, it's the guy fucking at night having nightmares. And all those family members became little devils, and they got pointy ears and shit now. That's what that little apocalypto-looking motherfucker looked like. And Denzel went and shot him in the hand with the fucking shotgun and stuff. So the part came on when he's just sitting there with him in the car, and the little apocalypto is fucking holding on to dear life. And Denzel's like, listen, you know, he's calling the girl's mother, and he's explaining all this shit to her. And that's when my daughter's asking me fucking stupid questions about what's going on here and stuff like that. And I tell her, I go, listen, man, when I first saw this movie, I had to ask myself, would I ever do that for a friend or a little girl or my daughter? And I said to myself, yes, I would. If it was for my daughter, I would shoot 20 motherfuckers. I don't give a fuck. Bazookas, I'd light fires. Everything I did in my life, everything I fucking wanted to do, light feet on fire, tie you up and throw you off a building, all those little secret desires that I have. You know, some people have desires of like fucking somebody in the ass and coming in their mouth. I never had those desires. I like lighting people on fire and throwing people off buildings and shit like that if I'm in search for something.